let's be honest, social workers, most of us have a fear of being blamed publicly for failures. Yeah, that happens. And it's scary. There are some cases that I get and I'm thinking, we need to escalate the matter, but the family doesn't meet threshold. The risk doesn't meet threshold, but you know it's coming back because we have a level of intuition, because we have past experience. There are patterns of behavior that exist with certain families and individuals, and you know it's coming back in the system, especially if they have a long history of social services and police intervention. And so when you receive this type of family, there is a genuine fear that they may not quite meet the threshold for support or intervention or mandatory child protection intervention. But you know that they're coming back, and what you might fear is this. Is someone going to die on my watch? Yeah, this is real. And I'm going to point the finger at a particular institution. And I don't like doing this, but actually I'm going to point the finger in a positive and constructive way, because it's something that I've battled with. When I leave this family, is someone going to die? Yeah. Now, I'm not blaming government, although government might be to blame at some point, but I'm going to point to the media. Why? Well, I think that journalists are very happy to get their claws into a juicy story to sell papers, and individuals are trying to make a name for themselves so they can pay their bills and climb the ladder to success. Whereas social workers are trying to save lives. And we are one of the few institutions that are hated by a lot of people or feared by too many people when it comes to us trying to help. And there's a lot of stereotype and stigma about our jobs. I'm going to read something to you, and it's from the Unison website, unison.org.uk. And amongst all the statistics that were purported about how challenging social work is on so many different levels, this one stuck out for me. I'm going to read it. It says, as many as 78% of the cohort that were studied, 78% worry about being blamed publicly in connection with cases. That's it. It says here, we get so much blame and hostility, but we have no protection. We have nothing to keep us safe, and we're expected to do so much, but no one considers the threat of danger that we face. Yep, we face it all. Where there's some police sometimes do not want to go, or where they have been there too often and they face extreme hostility, we still have to go, and we don't always get to go in pairs. So it's a challenging job, and just that alone, let alone all the things that we have to do with the individuals that we're working with, is a challenge, and then we have to go home and be human. My encouragement is to journalists is that before they report on anything, before they start chasing the fame and the aspirations of their role, consider that they might be destroying a necessary institution. And my encouragement is to journalists is to speak to us about our jobs, follow us, and document with us about what we do, so that we don't destroy a core part of the fabric of our country and society. I want you journalists to understand respectfully that when we have a case that keeps coming back into the system, we know you are waiting to stick a poison dart into us. We've seen it time and time again. And if you do that, you can cause individuals to make decisions out of fear rather than what's right. This is the natural impact of fear in practice. Now, anytime you want to, let me know. We'll have a discussion. But I think that the UK press needs to reevaluate how it presents stories, newspapers as well. Give it a try. I'm encouraging you to stand where social workers stand for a day, for a week, before you report, because you'll understand that it's not always us that fail. And we can't legally talk about the cases that we have. We have to keep our mouths shut whilst everyone is blazing us in the media about how we failed. And sometimes the government has been a part of that too. I'm just encouraging for a new narrative. The public is in fear of us because when we turn up to people's homes, sometimes they think we're just trying to take their children away. And the system doesn't work like that. I would like the media to entertain the notion of speaking to social workers about their role from across the country and not just from a nice little town, right? Thank you, and hopefully this resonates. Actually, one last thing before we go. Social workers don't make decisions out of fear. It's real. I would encourage you to just do your jobs with your chest high and your head held up. It's not easy. Sometimes people out there trying to make us all look like monsters. Maybe they've had one or two bad experiences, but we're all painted with the same brush. But if you're coming into social work, stand with your chest high. Whether you are a newly qualified social worker to experienced, stand with your chest high. Your qualification means a lot. This country needs social workers who are brave. So, take care of yourselves.